What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Monday. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Man, do we have some news to talk about today. That is because The Wrap is reporting that Batman Returns. Micheal Keaton is in talks to play Bruce Wayne in the Flash movie, and it's an exclusive. And as you can see, I'm at work. Darren gave me a call and told me, man, you need to make a video right now about this news that just dropped from The Wrap. So I'm definitely going to talk about it. Darren has some theories about what might go on with this casting, but I have my own. And in this video, we're going to talk about why this news is so exciting, confusing, and a little troubling all at the same time. But first, let's go ahead and read a little bit about from the article, and then we'll go ahead and talk about it and talk about some theories about what Micheal Keaton might be doing in this movie. So it says, after nearly 30 years, Micheal Keaton is in talks to return to the role of Batman to appear alongside Ezra Miller in Warner Brothers' upcoming movie, The Flash. The Wrap has learned exclusively talks with Keaton are in the very early stages, and it is far from a sure thing and can go either way. No details are currently available about how big or small Keaton's role is. So we'll skip a little bit of the article right here, but just know that this is DC's attempt to introduce the audiences to a multiverse. That's what the article says, and that's kind of what DC has been doing, right? Especially with Ezra Miller showing up in The Flash and having that cameo scene in there. And I know that was kind of a last-minute thing, but it was a big step in introducing the multiverse. And this is another way of doing that, especially for the casual fans who don't know what a multiverse is. So let's just talk about Micheal Keaton here. So this is exciting because Micheal Keaton is the first Batman for a lot of people. At least it was for me. His Batman movie came out, I believe, in 1989. That's the year I was born, so that means I probably watched it when I was like 5 or 6. I probably watched it, and that was my introduction to Batman. I wasn't introduced through the comics. I was introduced to Batman through this movie, and also the animated series and the subsequent Batman movies. And I got to say, first of all, rest in peace, Joel Schumacher, who just recently passed away from a battle with cancer. He did the Batman movies that are not very beloved, but for a lot of kids growing up in the 90s, that was their Batman. So I got to say rest in peace to him, and I know he's done other good movies as well. So I just want to shout out that because that is some news that did drop. But Micheal Keaton, he is the Batman for a lot of people, and he's still a lot of people's favorite Batman. For me, he's probably further down on that list. Anyways, this is really exciting. Micheal Keaton, he's a great actor. He's a great actor. So not only was he a beloved Batman, but he's a great actor in general. And he's played multiple superhero types in other roles. There's Birdman, which I think won an Oscar or a couple Oscars. Birdman was amazing. I recommend you guys watch it if you haven't already. And also, he's played Vulture most recently in Spider-Man Homecoming, and he was a great villain. There's that. I always think about that scene in the car where he revealed to Peter Parker who he actually was. And I think that was absolutely an amazing scene, and he played a great villain. Now, we know he's still alive in the MCU, so I imagine they're going to use him still. So again, there's no indication of how big or small this role is going to be for Micheal Keaton. But if you go onto Twitter, Daniel Rickman, Daniel RPK, is saying that there might be a chance he'll be in future movies as well. So again, I'm sure it's all about the negotiations, and I don't know what contracts he has with Marvel, but it looks like he's going to be able to play on both sides of the aisle here. That's why it's really exciting. Micheal Keaton just brings those feelings of nostalgia back, right? It was a great time back then, especially him being, a transcendent superhero and one of the first Batman on the big screen. So that's really exciting, and this news is also a little bit confusing, right? Obviously, we have a Batman in the DCEU, Ben Affleck's Batman. Obviously, we know Ben Affleck is kind of done with the role. He is going to be coming back for, I think, some voice work on Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO Max. We don't know whether or not that's going to be actual canon to the DCEU or just something for the fans. And again, I will await Warner Brothers' response in terms of that. And I think they're just playing things by ear. They're going to see what sticks on the wall, right? They're just throwing stuff at the wall. They're seeing what sticks. If the fans really respond and people really rally around Zack Snyder's Justice League after seeing it, maybe that's what they go with going forward. But as of right now, it's just all kind of uncertain. And that's what this news is right here. Micheal Keaton's come back as Batman. I know there's a multiverse here, but they say he's coming back. Is Ben Affleck going to show up? It would be awesome if Ben Affleck showed up because how how are they going to do that payoff moment at the very end of the Flashpoint storyline, if you know what I'm talking about? There's a payoff moment where Barry returns to Ben Affleck with a letter from Bruce's deceased father, from this alternate reality that Barry Allen creates through Flashpoint. And again, Jeffrey D. Morgan is still rumored to play Flashpoint Batman, which would be absolutely awesome. Jeffrey D. Morgan would play the heck out of that role, man. That's just like, who's born to play these types of roles, right? So Jeffrey D. Morgan, there's rumored to return. Again, nothing's confirmed, but over the weekend there was like an old cast listing of people who were supposed to be circling the Flash movie, and Jeffrey D. Morgan was on there, and it would have been no surprise. So a little confusing, because what are they going to do to address Ben Affleck? Is Michael Keaton simply going to replace Ben Affleck in this universe as the Batman because of some sort of time travel, or is it something else? And again, it's a little troubling, because I do think Warner Brothers is just not gonna really hardcore address the whole Ben Affleck situation. They're gonna try and I'm assuming they're gonna move forward without Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck said he's done playing Batman, and I respect his decision. He made those decisions for personal reasons, and I'm gonna say, hey, he left us with some great memories, right? So if he does leave, it's just troubling how they're gonna move forward. It doesn't seem like Warner Brothers has a plan in a lot of this. Again, I mentioned it, they're throwing stuff at the wall, seeing what sticks. So that's the troubling part of this, right? So how are they going to address Ben Affleck's situation? Because I don't think that payoff will work in the end as strongly with Michael Keaton as it would Ben Affleck. And now let's get to what I'm thinking is going to happen, and it's just exactly that. I'm thinking Michael Keaton's role in this movie may be small. I think Cyborg is going to be in this movie alongside Ezra Miller. I think Jeffrey D. Morgan, if he was to return as the Flashpoint Batman, will play a major role as well. And especially, we're going to be awaiting the casting of Barry Allen's mom, if Kiersey Clemons is going to come back as Iris West, and also if who's going to be playing Reverse Flash, which is like a critical component in this movie, right? And also, is other Justice League members going to appear in this movie, namely Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and there's a lot of other characters who could and should show up if they're going to do Flashpoint right. But this is going to be a version of Flashpoint, so I'm not expecting any of that. But what all of us are going to be waiting for at the end of this movie is that moment that I just talked about, where Barry Allen returns to Bruce Wayne with a letter. And I think after Barry Allen returns from the universe he created and fixing the problem, I think what he'll find awaiting for us at the Batcave when going to return that letter is not Ben Affleck's Bruce Wayne, but instead Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne. And I think that's going to be the major change, right? And I think that's going to be where they actually leave us. I don't think we're going to get a hard explanation other than Barry's actions have shaped the future and shaped events in such that Michael Keaton is now our Batman. I don't think we're going to get a hard explanation for that. I think they're going to let future directors go ahead and explain that whole situation. But who knows? That's kind of my theory. I think at the end, when we expect Ben Affleck to be reading that letter in the Batcave, I think Barry Allen will return to the Batcave, and it'll be Michael Keaton sitting there. That's how I speculate this is all going to happen, and I think that's the cleanest way to make it happen. Again, this is not something I want necessarily. I do think it would be cool to introduce Michael Keaton's Batman into the universe, and I do also want Ben Affleck to stay as Batman, knowing that there is another Batman movie being made with Matt Reeves. Again, this can all exist at the same time, but what I think is going to happen is that Michael Keaton's simply going to replace Ben Affleck's Batman with no real hard explanation. It's going to be for a lot of fans to speculate, and that's what fans do, right? Fans just speculate. This movie ends, fans will speculate on how, why, and when, and until the next movie, right? So I think that's what's going to happen. Darren has his own theory about that, but I do think a lot of the theories reaching, that are really reaching and really speculating and have these crazy, intricate conspiracy theories, I think a lot of those theories are great, but I do think it gives Warner Brothers and AT&T and studios in itself a lot more credit than they deserve. I think they're always looking for the cleanest and easiest way to answer things, and I think my theory is the easiest. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you have any theories of what Michael Keaton's role could be, should be, let me know in the comments down below. We're definitely going to be talking about this all week, yeah, I'm sitting here thinking about it still. So let me know in the comments down below, guys. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Catch you guys later. Peace.